Hey guys, it's Steve here again. Now, today is another non-fest tool thing I'm going to show you, but I thought I'd just share it because I've been using it all weekend and I haven't done a tube it for a while. So I thought I'll show you this. Maybe you guys might know about them, but I just thought I'd give you the heads up on it. This is a Kreg handle jig or guide. It's damn good. Okay, so what you've got is you've got all your markings across here. These unscrew from behind, and they've got little notches. Got a little notch in them, so when you can move them along, they clip into the notch. See the little notch there? Okay, so they lock into the notch. And also on this side, you can see there is the different measurements here and here. Because I'm watching the camera back to front, I can't even read. But never mind. It gives you the variety of door handles. Now, the drawer handles which I'm using on this particular thing, which I thought I would have had a drawer handle out. I never get anything prepared. Typical of me. Okay, so here's the little drawer handles that I've put on my daughter's kitchen, and these are obviously where they fit. And they actually have a 3-inch centre to centre, and so this matches perfectly hang on, I've got to show you. This matches perfectly the hole settings here. Now they've got a bush inside them to be able to slide up and down your drill so you don't wear them out. And this is a slide. This slides up and down so you can position. Now they've got sort of measurements on the back, but I tend to ignore those because I actually set it to the drawer. So what I've done, I'll bring this down here. Here's a typical thing of what I've done, and I'll blow this a bit. See how I've drawn the crosshairs? Now the good thing is, so this is obviously the centre line down here, and all you do is just sit it on top. There's 2 little tiny arrows here and here, so you just run them on. Yep, that's perfect, and that's perfect. And so you can actually, adjust them. So this slides up and down. So I'll set it now. So what I do is I set one side, and then I'll come down and I'll set the other side. Perfect. And that's a little bit out there. That's perfect, and that's perfect. Now, see these are made by Kreg, of course, hence the logo. But I also got these from Kreg, which are great too. And what I've done is I've worked out where my screw hole needs to be, and all I just do is mark the measurement on here, which was 91 millimeters. And then I just score my line across here. Now, you might sort of say, yeah, well, you could just mark it off in here, mark it off there. But, there's not much tolerance to these things. You can't really mess it up that much. You really can't, start whacking great big holes in. So this is a really very, very handy. Now, here, you can see the window there of the centre line. You can also see the centre line through that little window here, and the centre line. So they've really shown you where the centre is, that's for sure. So shows you the line here, the line there, and the centre line here. So it's just a matter of, and this is how I do it, it's just a matter of lining those up along, I've done it again. I've done it again. Not prepared, forgot to get my clamps. Okay, so I just line it up till inside the little window here. You might be able to sort of see it, and I'll bring it around. You can see in the window there, I can line it up so it hits the centre of my line. I'll put the camera back, and then all I do, just to hold it in place, you don't have to do this, I wouldn't imagine, but they've got a little indent down the side here, which probably allows you to clamp it in here. And I find that clamps it good enough. It's nice and rigid, nice and firm. And they suggest a 4.5 millimeter drill. So there we go. Done. Perfect. And I know that now is in a perfect position. So what I do is I get a bit of my spray, which I use for cleaning up, to clean off all the marks. This is actually a Laminix spray, a Laminix cleaner. It dissolves stubborn dirt, oil, fat, wax, tar, rubber scuff marks, as well as uncured silicone resin. Ideal for removing self-adhesive labels and residue, blah blah blah. But I find it's great for quick squirt. All my markings now just rub off. It cleans it up. I'm sure everyone's got their own method that they use, you know, using some sort of spirits like shellite, I suppose, or something like that. But anyway, there they are, beautiful and clean. Now it's just a matter of screwing in the and always you've got to adjust these, because, and when I say adjust these, you don't know what these are. These are the screws. I forget when I'm off camera that the camera's not following me. So we'll go back with the camera here. We'll go around there. I get my little handy nippers, which again I've misplaced. My handy nippers. Oh no, that's not them. If I use those ones, they'll wreck it. Once yourself make yourself a cup of tea while I sort of figure out where I'm done with my nippers. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, I had them a minute ago. Ah, here they are. Ah, these come as the lost variety. So what you do, I know that I've got to cut off 2 bits there. The simplest way I find, you can cut it off in a lot of ways, you know, with a hacksaw or something like that. But I just cut that off like that. That's good enough. And the other one, there, done. Pop her in here. It's like watching grass grow, especially when you can't even see it. Oh God, I'm hopeless at this at times. Trying to demonstrate, and I'm trying to do it in a time where you all don't get bored and go running off to somebody else's channel. But for those who decide to persevere and stay, here we go. We just line it up. Lines up absolutely perfect. Bingo. Get out the trusty Festool screwdriver. Got to do something Festool. Turn it down. Turn it right down. I turn it down to about sort of 3. Nothing too hard. And as they say, Bob's your uncle. Look at that. So easy. And of course I want the same dimension from there to there as is there to there. So all I just do is pop this on top, line it up in the middle, clamp it in, and clamp it in, and as they say, the rest is history. So I just thought I'd just share this today from a little Kreg unit. It's great, you know. It really does the job well. I've got another little Kreg unit, and these are assistants to put how to put the drawer fronts on the front of your drawer and line them up. I can show them if you want. Just let me know. Find these. Yeah, these are from Rockler. Man, you know, Kreg make good stuff. Rockler, not so good. Well, the idea's there, but their execution, they're trying to do it cheap, and I don't know why they bother. You know, if you're going to do it right. The trouble is, like, this is good. The concept's great. You know, it's just a matter of, I suppose I can show you. It's probably the better way. Okay, take that off. See if I can lift the camera up a bit. Get a bit of a better. Oops. How's that coffee going? Good, I hope, because the film works terrible. Okay, so we can see now. Okay, right. So let's pretend this is loose. What you do is you got the right. That's obviously the right hand side. So you just slip that over here, over the top of the drawer there, like so. Clamp it in. Drop this one over on the left hand side and whoops, screw it up. Right, now these here allow to adjust the fronts like so. You can see how I can push that right in. Oh yeah, sorry. Now I've pushed that right in, so I'm 3 millimeters. The thickness of this material, I'm only 3 millimeters away from this edge. So this allows me to line up this edge by unlocking these little lock nuts, and by screwing and unscrewing one side, I can make the front go back, and that, so I can line it up to the side. But also too, what I do is I use some 3mm packer. I pop the packers under here and under there. And then so it sits down like that, you move it in like this, and then you can lock it down with these. Now this now locks the face to the drawer, so you can pull them out. You can pull this out. Now your drawer face is there, you screw it from the inside. They're good to a point. What I do is I use it as a way of sort of setting it, and then I like to be quite assured that it's not going to move, and I put clamp on like so when I'm sort of drilling. And I'll tell you why, and I'll see if I can sort of come in on there. See if I can hone in on this part. Yeah. What happens here, whoops, it's on this one. Yeah, what happens here is when I screw this in, like this bar tends to push out because it's too thin. It should have been a much more solid on the corner here, but because it sort of bends. I mean, I guess I'm probably being a bit pedantic, but look, generally it's good. I'd rather have them than not have them, because I found that, whoops, I found that doing the drawer fronts this time was very easy, and I did a bank of drawers just the other day, and all the drawers did line up perfect. Whereas in the past I have had difficulties, you know, lining them up without these. So they are good. They are good in that regard. And I guess there's well, I don't know if anyone else is making them other than Rockler. So I guess it's either Rockler or nothing. But that depends. I mean, I'm not a professional kitchen maker. I'm just doing this for my daughter, as some of you might have been following some of my videos and that, and know that I'm sort of doing that. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you just a couple of little hints there that these are reasonably priced. You know, it's a plastic unit from Kreg. It's not too expensive. I can't remember the price. It's not that memorable. Memorable is the big stuff, you know. You remember that one was 4,000, this one was 3,000, this one was 2,000, because they come in thousands. When they come in, you know, just two figures, whatever. So yeah, look, great. I really like that, the handle. They're going to be, and obviously they're great for doing doors, putting the handles in the doors. But having said all that, I haven't thought about where if I want to use it as a guide for just one handle. But I'll get round to that and see how that works. I'm sure it'll work. If it can do 2 holes, I'm sure it'll be fine for 1 hole. All right, guys. Well, there's today's tip. Hope you enjoy. See ya.